top of the hour, and are we ready for this Nerd 2 activator call tonight?
Right.
Absolutely. I'm actually going to we'll be doing the call tonight by cell phone, Doc, because you know one of the beautiful things about being in the LifeVantage business, you can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting up on Peaks Island, just off the coast of Portland, Maine. Marta and I are up here for a week enjoying ourselves, and we are having a great time and able to do three-ways and everything else.
That's great.
Well, good. Sounds great. It's a great one. Well, folks, we're glad to have you all with us tonight on Dr. Marvin's Nerve 2 Activator call. I want to remind everyone that this is a call where we talk about the benefits of the LifeVantage products, Protandim, and True Science. But we want to remind everyone that, of course, Protandim does not heal, cure, mitigate, or treat a disease. Only a drug can do that, and if you need medical attention, then you should get advice from your own medical doctor. But we open this session up as the evening goes on for calls and questions and callers to bring up the points that they think are important. Doc, have you got some new things you want to share with us tonight?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I just returned from the Pro5 Summit. I had never had a chance to go to Pro5 because by the time they had a Pro5 Summit, I was the seventh. But Marcel Niederhauser convinced me that I should go through it to see how valuable it was for people in my downline who were Pro5s. And this was exceptional, I thought. We had one of the best teachers I've ever heard in LifeVantage, except on a CD. And he was the other person other than Mark Shinzabo on the Proven Plan, and that is Seth Molnar. He is fabulous. I went to two of his sessions. It was unbelievable. I got so much out of it. But I want to bring you up to date, of course, on a few things that are really new. And one of those is the financial status of LifeVantage. So 2008, LifeVantage sold $2 million in sales. And then the next year, it sold up to $3.5 million in 2010. But this year, in 2012 fiscal, it sold $126 million. And here's the good news. There's been a rumor, I know running around in Canada, one person up there had spread a lot of word that this was a company that was in financial problems. I want to dispel that real quick. This fiscal year, the profit from LifeVantage was $21 million in the bank. And I think that's outstanding for the time it's taken and what's happened. Another new thing, Dr. McCord has moved to West Palm Beach, Florida. And he still has his home in Denver, but he's moved down there. Now, we don't know what's going to happen from then. I had quite a talk with the CEO twice, and he's the one that told me about it. And I wanted to go through some great teaching we had. We had Gabe Pearson and Trish Albertson who gave some tremendous talks. And also, we had Seth Bowler. We had 100 people there. And, of course, it was at the Snowbird, just north of Salt Lake. And for anybody that really feels that they haven't been working lately, Gabe Pearson told us that he made Pro5 in 30 days. But he didn't do another thing for a year. 1 year he stuck on Pro5 after doing it in a month. So he had quite a talk on that and the different aspects of it. But I have got so many, I've got 16 pages of notes, but I want to give people some new stuff that are really needed. We got to see all of the account managers, and some of you are fives and have one, but of course, my account manager, the elite account manager, Kelsey Kendall was there. She's the kind of account manager. And Logan, I got to meet him. person and had a lot of conference calls today. So I didn't get to call him because I'm going to have him do a call for my downline. And anybody else on the line, they can get a hold of their upline, wherever they're located. East Coast is Geraldo, West Coast is Russell, and Terry Gibson is Central United States. So this is going to be something I'm really going to look into, and I'll let you all know on this call what I found out. It sounds like it's going to be wonderful, and something that's really going to be helpful. There is some other things I wanted to bring up. Trish Albertson gave some tremendous teaching, and I'm kind of partial to Tricia. She was her and her husband was the first people I ever heard speak in Rock Valley. First meeting I went to. And I just wanted to tell you there's some real neat things that she brought up. And everything was done was on business. Because, we've gone through the science, we've gone through all of that over and over and over. But what we need to also have balance with is to go for the business. Because there's a lot of things missing that we're not doing in business that can make you grow. For example, it's been proven in Life Vantage that if you go to the premier training, you can have your local training, but that training should lead up to premier training. The premier training should lead up to the elite academies, and the elite academies should look forward to convention. And if you do it this way, you'll take 6 to 8 months off of your promotion you're working on because of what you'll pick up, the networking you'll do when you're together at this meeting. One of the things that Trish said, too many people do not own their business. They don't own it. Some people work multi-level marketing as a hobby. I hope many of you within the sound of my voice have purchased and are reading Tom Barrett's 2 books. One, Dare to Dream, Work to Win, and the other book, Success Happens. I have a copy, and my wife has a copy of both of those, and we now, tomorrow, will receive the audiobooks for both that I'm going to use while I'm going to be driving. I'm doing a Super Saturday in Minneapolis.
Can you repeat those names?
Excuse me?
Can you repeat the names of the books?
The names of the books
I'm a
are
new.
Dare to Dream, Work to Win, that's one book, and Success Happens, Tom Barrett. Now, one of the things they brought out that some people have done, some get to Pro 5 by accident, just working and signing people up and just, that's it. But it was emphasized, no one gets to Pro 7 by accident. No one gets to Pro 7 by accident. And no one is the boss of anybody on the downline. That's real important. No one is the boss. You are your own boss in your downline. But you can't boss anyone in your downline. This is all freedom because there's a lot of times that this delay is building. You see, and what we're after is to pick out leaders for this company in the future. You can't force someone to work. You can't force someone
just hold on for a minute. I think something happened to Dr. Marvin's phone, and he's dropped off the line with us right now for a moment. We just kind of picked up a couple of things we talked about. Those two books that he mentioned are both available on Amazon.com. Both by Dr. Tom Barrett, and the first book that he wrote is called Dare to Dream and Work to Win. And then the second book that he wrote is called Success Happens. But it happened for you in network marketing. That's his most recent book. Both of those are available both in new copies, and there are some used copies up there besides. They're excellent books. I brought them with me up here to buy. We've got kind of a couple of difficulties to call tonight. So we do have, these are excellent resources. I know that in one of the times when Terry Dickey was at Pro 10 training, she was talking about these books. They're also a wonderful resource, and part of what you should always consider doing is not only investing in certain tools you may need in your business, but it's also invest in your own personal growth. That is a big part of this business and your success. So, two topics are Success Happens with Dr. Tom Barrett, and the earlier book was Dare to Dream and Work to Win. Both of those are available on Amazon. Dr. Marvin, have we got you back yet?
Yes, we have. My phone dropped. Okay, I'll continue where I was.
Yeah, I was just reiterating those two book titles, Dr. Marvin and Dr. Barrett, are available on Amazon.
Yeah, and I do recommend to everybody. That's all you need to buy. That's all you need to read. They're the best two I've ever seen. And the thing is, what was emphasized, corporate is behind you all the way. That's why they're bringing out these new business managers. They've got account managers when you get to be a 5, and from then on up, you're covered with an account manager. Now they've got a business manager. For example, if you want to tell the business manager, take a look on your computer and see what my business looks like. What should I do? How should I do it? That's what they're there for. Corporate is definitely behind all of us. This company is going this next year to 200 and some million. And it's going straight on up because it's growing. And another thing was brought out, Brian Butterfield was in New York at the time that we went on the NASDAQ. And when we went on the NASDAQ, the eyes of the world was focused on us. And this was one of the things that he emphasized. He stayed in New York going around to different investment bankers who requested a presentation. What is LifeVantage? What is Protect? How come we haven't heard about it? But once you go on NASDAQ, you've got a lot of interest. And that brings up the compliance issue. When you've got millions of people watching you now, if the level was fine when we were down at 3.5, 4, 10, 15 million a year. But once you go above 100 million, everybody focuses on you, particularly other MLMs, particularly other nutrition companies. So that's why the eyes of the world, not just Texas, the eyes of the world are upon you. And this is why it explains a lot of things that's going on now. We're all to search for leaders for the company and for ourselves. You see, there's a great future here. This is the greatest opportunity available to the United States at this time. This is the greatest financial opportunity that's ever been in your lifetime. Now, I want to reiterate what POOR means. P-O-O-R. That means passing over opportunities repeatedly. Usually we have two opportunities given to us. One before 40 and one after 40. If you don't get them, we're going to be in a world of hurt. Because business is changing. The business model is changing. Remember I said that the Labor Department stated that 62% of the people that work 8 to 5 in a JOB will be on welfare when they retire, because retirement pensions aren't keeping up with cost of living. That's why there's pushing for leaders, and this is where we are. And another thing they brought out is leaders shouldn't blame and shouldn't complain about the people below them. They should love on them, encourage them, help them. And you know what Seth Moulder just about knocked us all out of chairs when he said, at the beginning of one of his presentations, he says there's a secret weapon. Now he's a pro-10. He's the one, by the way, that opened up Japan. He was the first one in Japan. He's a pro-10, and he said there's a secret weapon to use in Life Vantage. We didn't know what it was. And he told us before the end of the presentation, which was 45 minutes. He said, now I'll tell you, the secret weapon is love. You've got to look upon this like a family. You know? Another thing they brought up is something I've talked against. Remember I said, you can't do it your way. You got to have a system. You got to have a process. And that's the proven plan. Well, Trish Albertson said she has seen one or two people that did it their way and was successful. But she said, well, you can't duplicate it. So, you know, it's just one of those things that reiterates you got to have the proven plan. The proven plan is what the proven plan, but proven to work. Cheer on the leaders that you see, help them, and introduce to them the proven plan. And when you become Pro-6, you are eligible to teach premier training. But Ashley Grant is in charge of all premier training. Told me that she likes to talk or have somebody's recommendation for someone who wants to be a premier trainer. Some people don't want it. You know, they just don't want to do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just one of those things that some people don't do. So anybody that wants to be, that's a Pro-6, wants to be a premier trainer, can apply and have some evidence of what they're going to talk about, what they're going to say, so she knows a little bit about them. Then she will put them on the line after giving them all their instructions they're giving each one. They want all of us to do premier training similar. You may have a little twist to it, but by and large, they want it pretty well the same. PremierTraining.com is one of the ways that you can get a hold of her. I'm trying to find it here. Yeah, PremierSchool.com, either Julie Ward or Ashley Grant. When I came in, I believe there was 12 premier trainings. There's now 24. Last month we had 24. And as I said before, the local meetings, they're in charge of 5 to 7 people in a home meeting, or however many you want if you have a big home. But the home meetings should work to the premier training or the Super Saturdays. The Super Saturdays and the premier training should be the Elite Academies. The Elite Academies are there to help you and point you toward the convention. Now, there's a lot of people that are struggling in Life Vantage that never go to premier training or Super Saturdays or Elite Academy. I have a bunch of them in my downline. We had 92 in Orlando. I have a lot of people step back, decide they're going to just stay home and not go. It will take 6 to 8 months off of their progression if they're hard workers. Because you learn a lot at these meetings. You understand more at these meetings. So, I wanted to share those things with you. There's a whole bunch more that I could share with you, but I don't want to take too much time. It's becoming more and more evident it's going to be on the business. Because there's people fall down in that mostly. You see, I've got 2 areas that insist on product. Product. That's all they want is product. Well, the outcome of that is you're going to sign up a lot of PCs with very few distributors. You have to be balanced. You you have to have as much time spent on the product as you do on the business. Or other way around, you got to spend as much time with the business as you do the product. You see, there's not much new coming out about the product after you've seen a year's worth of monthly meetings of just profit. Don't you think you know about all you can learn with the product? You need to know about the business. Because, as I said, this is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for everyone that's in here to be experienced with. There's several things, a list of things that will help that I'm going to probably cover on the first part of next week. But one of the first things that everybody emphasized, is that you have to be bulletproof. Don't eat. You don't get upset when somebody doesn't sign up. You're offering them an opportunity. You're offering them. It's not about you, it's about them. As Pat Labor says, my Pro 6 up in northern Nebraska, how happy will you allow yourself to be? That's the real question. It's not, will you buy this from me? I've got an opportunity that's a chance in a lifetime. Are you willing to work a couple of years doing what most people won't do so you can spend the rest of your life living like most people can't? Now, are you in that category or not? Well, better be, because this is an opportunity you'll never see again. It's early. It's got the best product I've ever seen. When drug companies are putting $400 to $600 billion in research trying to make NF2 activator synthetically, which they haven't accomplished successfully yet. They got one in the testing. But all of them are going to have toxicity. We don't have any toxicity. Which one would you rather give your 1-month-old infant? Something with no toxicity or something that has an LD50? I can tell you what I did, which one I'd pick after 56 years of practice. So, I think, Steve, that I'll open them up. I'd like to ask business questions if anybody...
Well, I think we can do that. Doc, I've got one for you right now. You know, I noticed that we have a 5th patent up.
Yes.
Will you get some insights as to what that is? I'm going to take a moment and explain a little bit about that.
Yes, the only thing that they told us, it's an Australian patent. When Australia went in full bore, the company decided to really be a benefit to us if they would patent the product from Australia for us. So we have a patent that's Australian, that's the 5th one. And I haven't had a chance to read it because it is in Australia. It's going to be back, and they said it will be available sometime near future. But it was an Australian patent, Steve.
Well, Doc, I've printed off patent number 5 from the U.S. Patent Office, and I just haven't heard about that one yet. I just saw it the other day.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened. They went into that much detail. The office, my wife gave a suggestion that I think may happen. She asked David Brown when we had a good one-on-one visit with him, and she asked him, what about when we have convention next spring in Salt Lake, that you have some tours to the home office? We're going to be right there near them. Can we have some buses take a few people out that want to and see the office? I've never seen the home office. And he said, you know, that's an excellent idea. So I don't know whether it's going to happen or not, but anyhow, Dean asked him if that would be possible. And another thing, Gabe Pearson said he would be Pro 10 in November. So we're going to have another Pro 10. Marcel Niederhauser came over to visit with Dean and I when we got there, so he was there with a big possum-eating grin and went up on top of the mountain in the tram with us. And it was a little cool up there this time. I had a coat on, so it wasn't so bad.
Doc, why don't you explain to the folks what it means when you say that you get up on the summit? What's the intention of that, Doc? I'm not sure if we may have lost Doc, but for all of you out there, one of the things when you get to the Pro 5 Summit is that they take you to the beautiful Snowbird Lodge is up at the mountains about 8,000 feet above Salt Lake City there in a beautiful ski resort area. But it is also, they take an enclosed tram up to the top of the summit at a little over 10,000 feet. And the corporate executives and the whole group goes up there and they talk about what they really want you to see is what it's like as a view from the top. Of course, it's a spectacular physical view looking out over 360 degrees of beautiful high rocky mountains. But the bigger picture is to be able to look at and see, figuratively, what you can do with your Life Vantage business if you'll do the proven plan, follow the system, do the master track, and that everyone has the same opportunity to become a Pro 10 in this business. Doc, I think maybe we'll get you back here.
Unmuted. Muted.
Doc Marvin will be back on with us in just a moment. Apparently his phone dropped him again. I'm going to the lines are open. I'll take a few business questions from anyone if they'd like. If you'll just go *6, you can unmute yourself. And we'll wait for Dr. Marvin to get on with us besides, but we'll go ahead and continue with a few questions. Who'd like to be first? Just *6 your phone, and that'll open your line. Okay, no one yet.
Steve, anybody want to buy an iPhone?
Doc, you don't want to put that offer out there, that talk. Marta raised her hand. You sent it to her. She's ready. She needs it.
Okay. She raised her hand. Anyhow, I wanted to tell you that Kirby was the summation of the whole Pro 5 Summit. And he said this startling comment that I know is true because I've experienced in 2 of my downlines. He says, you're all pumped up, you're all ready to go, but in 90 days, there's going to be a few of you that are doing nothing. That's what we try to give you education to prevent. The plateauing comes usually at Pro 5 and Pro 7. If you can get past Pro 5, you're on your way to Pro 7. When you get to Pro 7 and you move off of it, you're on your way to Pro 10. And they're going to start a summit for Pro 7, just like they have for Pro 5. I don't know when they're going to do it, but they're going to have a Pro 7 summit. Because there's a little area there where people weigh the money they're getting. Is it worth making more money by working? Well, yes, it is. But a lot of people are kind of complacent when they get to 5 or 7. We want to avoid that. Because if you don't need the money, I know a lot of missionaries that do. I know a lot of places you can do a lot of good.
Just about tripling their income.
Yeah. Tripling your income. And mine is quadrupled at 8. So, I'm helping that missionary. He's calling me once a week. He's enjoying it. He's enjoying my Pro 8. And he's got Magic Jack, and he calls me once a week for nothing. And so we have a good visit. He tells me all the latest in Tanzania with the kids. And it's just amazing what this is doing for a whole bunch of orphans. Now we're building a 3rd orphanage for babies. These are infant orphanages. And it's going to take a lot of volunteers to feed infants and take care of them and diaper change and laundry and all that stuff. But we have so many babies that are orphans over in Tanzania. And he's doing a separate building for Tanzanian infant orphans. you, I never have been involved in anything that is so joyful to me. And my why is enough to drive me to 11 at the attic. Nothing's going to stand in my way. I'm going there, and if you don't agree with me, just step aside because I'm coming by. I tell you, it is such a good feeling to give this money for the children from 2 to 11, now infants, that they're building special facilities for over there for those. And it's just great. My next project is to convert a lot of the people that are helping in the Tanzanian project into a downline for my missionary. My missionary is a distributor, and he and I are trying to convert most of his contributors to help him by building a downline in Montana. You help the company, you help people, you can't beat it with a club. People say, well, I don't need the money. Well, I got a place for it. I've got a whole bunch of orphans, 2.7 million of them that need help desperately. They're dying all the time because we don't have enough facilities for them over there. So, anyhow, I won't belabor that. But I tell you, I've never had a feeling doing anything in my life that even approaches that. Okay, Steve, do you have another question?
No, I think what we'll do, Doc, is I'll unmute the lines here, and we'll get it ready where people can go ahead and start bringing up questions and things of that nature tonight.
Steve, you might want to make contact with Geraldo.
Yeah, I'll do that, Doc.
He's your business manager on the East Coast.
Yeah, he's been out here before, and I've talked with him. But I put my notes.
They just installed this business manager program.
Yeah, everyone really needs to realize that's a great gift to the company as far as support. I think that is unheard of.
Unheard of. Account manager is unheard of. A business manager is double unheard of. You can't, it's hard to fail. If you can get up in the morning, it's hard to fail. And of course, Marcel and all the others, particularly Trish Albertson, Seth Molnar, says just show the video. Nothing burns me up is to go to a big meeting, to be the presenter, and half the people have not seen the video. If you want to really see my red hair in action, or almost lose it, is to have 20 people that have never seen the video. Gotta have them see the video. It's like jerking the rug under you in your presentation. You gotta see the video. Okay, anyone have any questions? Go ahead.
I haven't opened it up yet. One of the things that I have is a saying that I've adopted out here in the East Coast with our group is, I'm not willing to accept your no until I know that you know. So, in other words, I'm not going to take their NO until I KNOW that they know KNOW what Life Vantage in that ABC video is all about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And the people that don't see it, they may never see it. I've got people I know that believe in an airplane. That fly in an airplane.
Unmuted.
Too heavy, it's going to fall on us.
Unmuted.
Anybody have a question?
Yeah, Doc, I've got it. Anyone that wants...
Hello?
Yep, Sean.
We got somebody playing the banjo or something.
Well, next caller is star 6 your phone to unmute.
I did. I'm to be here, and I have come across some very skeptical people, only because they think when they see the video, they're very excited about it, and then they say, well, I want to hear what's up to date. This is from 2005, and I want to know about things in the present. And
Well, there is. There's a lot of things you can tell them. Number one, when that was done, there was no medical schools behind it. Now we have 29 medical schools doing research on this with their own money. That ought to satisfy any skeptic. It's never been done before. Number two, we have 12 peer-reviewed studies. There's no supplement that has that much research already published on it. Number three, we have more medical validation on Protandim than any drug in your drugstore or your hospital. Now, where's the skeptic to that? Well, I don't really need to meet your sister.
No,
Here's the thing. I offer her the greatest opportunity she's ever seen in her life, and if she doesn't want to accept it, hey, that's fine. It doesn't make me upset. I've got it. Evidently not. Yeah, that's okay. Keep loving her. Go back to her about every 3 months or 2 months. Person that goes back the 6 times, 60% of the people sign up. She may but like, what's your name and where you're from? next Tuesday in Dallas. I know. Yeah, she has a head of reputation. Foot, arm, finger, or what? Right. Right. United States.